So this is the episode that the streets have demanded. They've been on fire for this shit. And of course, we are joined today by Matthew Walther of the Free Beacon. Matthew, what's going on?
If the hill would not come to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the hill, as Francis Bacon once put it.
You are now in the hill zone. But you know, this is now the second guest we've had on the run of the show that is not a member of Chapo Sea Org. Matthew has not signed the trillion-year contract. He's not one of our roommates or sycophants. So, guest rules apply. Let's keep it lean, keep it clean, folks, and we'll see how many articles of clothing we're all wearing at the end of this discussion. But genuinely, thank you for being here, Matthew.
Thank you. I haven't trembled so much since the last time my makeup was done in the Fox News green room.
What was that like?
It was also the first time that my makeup was done in the Fox News green room. I think I totally bombed.
Did they give you contouring?
I don't know. I think I was intoxicated.
Contouring?
Just kidding. No, I really wasn't paying attention. They really didn't do very much because my face is that good by itself.
Do they got a good spread?
As all of you guys who've tweeted my picture would know.
Contouring is extremely what's up. I think everyone should do it. And in the beach season, you can amplify your 4-pack, make it a 6-pack. You just contour your midsection, as I do.
When I got the contouring makeup done, I liked it because I looked like Omar Sharif when it was done. Which is I enjoyed. But anyway, I guess we wanted to have you on the show because, you know, I think, the main thing we've learned from our friends at Cumtown is that if you have a pod, pods are for squashing beef. Mm-hmm. If you have beef with someone, you can have them on a pod and squash it. So that's my idea for this episode. And I don't know. I mean, I suppose we've been beefing with you for a while now, but I feel like it's gotten out of hands. You know, this struggle between us and the Catholic Church. It's like 1 billion people, and even at my most megalomaniacal, I think that's more than I can chew.
One of the sponsors of our show, which is, of course, the Party of God, Hezbollah, has been defending churches in Lebanon and Syria, and I think if they can be if they can, be pluralistic, why can't we?
Absolutely.
Right. And killing 1 billion would put even Uncle Joe to shame. I know you guys aim high, but that would be a lot. I think in the spirit of dialogue encouraged by the Holy Father, Pope Francis, it's important to start where there's common ground. For example, I think we can all agree here that The Predator is obviously Ice Cube's best solo record, followed by America's Most Wanted, Death Certificate third.
That is absolutely true. To me, I gotta say, Uncle Sam is like Hitler without the ovens.
Yeah.
More like crap music.
Have you guys heard about this guy, MC Chris? He raps about Star Wars. Never said the N-word, doesn't rap about bitches and hoes. My favorite rapper.
He lets kids know that it's okay to be weird.
Yeah, exactly. Just like David Bowie, Lou Pearlman, and Rodrigo Borgia. 3 men who formed me.
I mean, yeah, why don't we let's, in addition to Ice Cube, why don't we start on some common ground so that we can, like, we've talked before on an earlier episode when it came out about the Tradanista Manifesto. Matt, have you read the Tradanista Manifesto? Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
And would you say, like, in sort of broad terms, you would sign on for it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would not. I quibble with their attachment to the word socialist, but the content of it is pretty unimpeachable to me.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good because that already establishes that we actually probably agree on more than we disagree about, at least with regards to the Tradanista Manifesto. But I mean, like, so again, like, how would you sort of describe your politics? Like, economically left and socially right?
Like Dennis Duffy from 30 Rock.
Or Tayyip Erdogan.
Well, that's the thing. if left is the convenient label to use these days, I guess I'd be fine with that. But I think it's important to realize that, half a century ago, a knuckle-dragging reactionary in the United Kingdom was someone who believed in universal health care, the nationalization of vital industries, from the phones to the railroads to the mines, unions, and also all you guys' favorites like the establishment of religion and obscenity laws and aristocratic privilege. So it's hard. I mean, I would still identify as someone on the right, but in this country, there's a center-right consensus that is obsessed with the tenets of liberal economics in a way that's really bizarre, even by the standards of 30 years ago. 30 years ago, you could be a libertarian absolutist and believe in universal basic income.
I think some libertarians still do believe in that, no? Because like they see it as sort of an end run around the welfare state, right?
Yeah, sure. Or even, Glenn Beck, I think, used to go on TV and hawk copies of The Road to Serfdom, a book that has a whole chapter about why we need national health care. So, who's left wing? I don't even know.
Well, I mean, I would say I'm pretty left wing in my political beliefs. I mean, at least by the standards of 21st century America. I mean, this is the thing. It's hard to read back in time more than like 20 or 30 years and map out what would be like a coherent political view. I think we're just sort of stuck with the eras in which we're born in. And I think, I think this show and myself personally, I think broadly falls into sort of a left of liberal political category by contemporary standards.
I am personally fiscally Guelph, socially Gibelline.
I am an anarcho-Islamist, so they did not have what I am 20 years ago.
But, as far as the Tradanista Manifesto goes, like it is, sort of broadly based in like sort of Marxist principles, and we went through the whole manifesto, and like I said, we found ourselves agreeing with bullet point by bullet point more things than we disagreed with. It's just the things that we disagreed with seemed rather insurmountable because it gets down to these issues that both sides consider to be non-negotiable, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's important to keep in mind when you talk about these questions about our duties towards the poor and society being oriented towards the common good. What my patron, John Henry Newman, was talking about when in a phrase that in the London Review of Books was described as the vilest thing he ever wrote, he said that the Catholic Church holds it better for the sun and moon to drop from heaven, for the earth to fail, and for all the many millions on it to die of starvation and extremest agony, than that one soul should not, I say, be lost, but should commit one single venial sin, should tell one willful untruth, or should steal one poor farthing without excuse. So taking care of people is important. Making sure that they don't do bad things, much less go to hell, is more important. And I think, it really comes down to that.
That's interesting, and like, I mean, that's an amazing quote. But like, how, like, I guess like when I listen to that, how is that really, like, what would that look like if we had a government that put at first priority stopping people from going to hell? Because I can imagine, like what a government or political movement
Teen chastity belts
that moves towards, something more like social democracy or taking care of the material good and establishing kind of a certain baseline based on, what the wealthiest country in the world can possibly afford. I'm not sure what a government that ordered itself towards, a sectarian religious vision that's first priority were saving the souls of its citizens.
NoFap November gets extended indefinitely.
Holy shit, we would never lose a war ever again if we did that. Think about how fucking powerful we would be. You're going to get so sick of winning that you're not even going to want to come anymore.
Just like the Israelites in the Bible. But
did the Maccabees fuck?
Hell no.
Yeah, no?
Absolutely not. Why do you think they were so powerful? They had essential oils dripping off their skin, like Mike Cernovich talks about, and that's how they lit the candle for the eighth night. Maccabee Mindset,
No,
coming
but, like-
out January 2017.
But no, I mean, like, I am interested in this question, like, though, like, what, like, in your vision of society, like, what would that look like in terms of how the state, like, would handle questions of people's immortal souls?
Well, I think to speak to the manifesto, I think what it's saying and what makes it unique in Catholic political discourse right now is what it's saying is that the material conditions enabled by capitalism, its present state, and and its decadence is an occasion of sin for a lot of people. You know, if you're trapped in a lifestyle where you're forced to sell yourself to corporations that are inherently ordered towards immoral ends, when commerce and media are organized around, blasphemy and exploitation of the poor, that, you can get a lot of mileage out of removing all those things. I think, basically creating a more economically rightly ordered and humane, decent society would make us more virtuous. I think that's part of what the Treadnistas are saying. And again, I did not help draft that manifesto, so this is my interpretation of it. But I think that's what they're saying. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. But what about NoFap? Is that going to be enforced by the police?
Is what?
NoFap. Oh,
just to clarify, Matt is referring to a movement called No Fap November. Fap, in sort of, I don't know, Reddit speak means jacking off, masturbation.
Right. Would the cops arrest you for
Onanism.
jerking off is the question.
Onanism, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, there you
Would
go.
the cops arrest you for jerking off?
Self-abuse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Would you get arrested for jerking
a
off?
hideous crime.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that in such a society, as in any society, it would be fairly difficult for the state to go about punishing people who commit that particular sin. But I think that many of the occasions that lead people to abase themselves in that way would be eliminated. No more.
So they can make pornography illegal.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Or I wasn't even going to think of hardcore pornography, but whatever gets Cushman's jollies going, like Zooey Deschanel on the cover of Vogue or something.
Haram. Haram.
No more of that shit.
Haram.
Okay, this is already getting we're we'd already way outpaced what I thought would be the scope of the state in this vision. But you talk about sort of that we live in a world in which capitalism, commerce, the media are all sort of oriented towards. We live in a decadent era, and that, like, all these things are sort of oriented towards exploitation and sin. And that gets me at least to when I first noticed the writing of Matthew Walther was in a thread where you were talking with our boy Freeway Ross Douthat, and I forget the original context, but basically you had a line about how, like, young people today are enabled by, I think, generational wealth to, like, lead this, like, life of decadence, which you described as sort of Netflix and fornication. And I read that and I thought, this guy gets it. But then only 2 weeks later, you were saying that the show, our show, should be banned for blasphemy. And I thought, this guy gets it even more. And I was hooked from then on.
Yeah. Well, that actually, that comment was just I guess that's what's confused me about so many Chapo fans out there, because they think they're so raucously illiberal. But some of them, anyway, wet the bed at the idea that anyone could ever suggest that something could be banned.
I don't think it's such a matter of, like, wetting the bed. It just seems that, like, genuinely, at least for me, like, an idea that I don't know. It's just, I guess, outside the bubble that I live in.
Yeah.
Like we'd be living in like a 21st century democracy in which like the government would be banning certain forms of art or I don't know.
Yeah, Matt.
Or
I mean,
entertainment.
you got to admit that to most people like our fans who were born, in the late '80s or early '90s, the idea of the government banning any entertainment product you could consume is kind of fucking ridiculous to them. It's
Because
ridiculous
there's-
to me. I was born in 1990.
But what's the point of opposing Clintonism then? Because it's just a slippery slope. I tell you what, from I'm with her to sitting back and watching Netflix after a hard day of
Working at the jerking off store.
Working at the jerking off store.
I work at the racism and sodomy store myself in my part-time work.
I got laid off from the dick sucking factory, and Hillary's not bringing those jobs back.
I work in the anal prolapse mine.
I actually think that all those poor laid off workers are going to be pleasantly surprised when we get President Trump. I think Ivanka especially is looking out for you guys.
I hope so. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I guess it is a product of, I mean, maybe that does make me a liberal in that, I don't think the state should get into.
Well, it's
I just feel like
it's collapsing the difference. Like to say you change the economic realities of people so that people don't have to exploit themselves. You could argue that would get rid of porn. Like because you could make a strong argument that pretty much nobody would do porn if they didn't have to because of economic forces. But that is a different argument for the elimination of certain things than saying you're going to have like a squad of fucking, priests riding around in a black Marino, like throwing people in the back of it for having, Tijuana Bibles under their bed. And because it evokes, you're sketching out a future, but when you talk about banning things, you talk about like moral police, it evokes specters not only of the contemporary world, like Saudi Arabia or the ISIS or something, but also
which you guys are in favor of.
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah,
but also like quasi-theocracies of the recent past, like 50s Ireland or Franco's Spain.
Wonderful rightly ordered societies.
There we go.
Right, but that's what people are comparing it to.
Yeah, but what about the Soviet Union? I mean, do you know what Uncle Joe thought about homosexuality and sexual decadence in general?
Yeah, he was against it. He let Bulgakov live because he was a big fan of the White Guard. Would you let certain artists whose previous work you'd enjoyed, like sort of skate?
I believe that there was actually a recent discussion with some Tradnista folks about precisely which of Flaubert's works we would allow to be privately circulated.
What about Kevin Gates?
He doesn't know who that is. Come on,
He's
man.
a more recent artist.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you say that, like it's funny to me. But are you being serious? Is this a serious discussion that you were having? I mean, because granted, I mean, it's like in the realm of imagination because like it's probably not going to happen. But like, is that a serious discussion?
It's totally serious. Do you guys realize? Let's put on our Americanist goggles for a second here. How recently obscenity laws were enforced in this country?
When is the most recent obscenity? Was this like the People versus Larry Flint in the 80s?
Two Live Crew.
Yeah.
Oh, Max Hardcore.
Oh, right. So yeah, I mean,
or the Samuel Alito's lone dissent in the case about the crush videos where these obese women were stepping on squirrels or whatever because I don't know, because some people like to engage in onanism before, after, or during, those videos.
I thank God that Nick Mullen can continue his day job. But no, I mean, like, yeah, no, I mean, I guess my reaction to those is that I'm glad that obscenity cases are rarely prosecuted anymore because I think they're largely pointless and just a bad use of state power.
Do you think that those crush videos are okay? Are you okay with, these chubby ladies stepping on cockroaches so long as somebody's ostensible needs are satisfied?
Well,
Does she
I don't
have
know.
to
I
be
mean,
chubby?
personally, but
Is
like,
that part of it?
I mean,
You
I could
seem
ask you like
focused
how
on
you
that
feel
part of
about
it.
wearing clothes, clothes made in the Gap or something like that also require a huge amount of like exploitation.
I mean, Matt, so what if they're fat? Like, you should let anyone do porn. be
Body
positive,
positivity,
please.
yeah.
yeah, we're body pos
Yeah,
on this
please.
show.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to bridge into that.
So, I mean, no, it's like, not my personal thing, but if she was stepping on like puppies, then maybe I'd want to bring the hammer down. But cockroaches, squirrels, I don't know.
I mean, I personally don't put it in the purview of obscenity because it is like animal cruelty. But at the same time, I mean,
Yeah,
we
cockroaches
eat mass-produced
probably.
meat. I mean, Matt, do you eat mass-produced meat?
No.
Do you eat any meat?
Yes.
Game meat? Are
No,
you
I'm
Michael
very-
Porfirio Mason?
No, I'm very selective about that. I was actually a vegetarian for 6 years, and am still slightly persuaded by those arguments.
But like, what's the difference then? You're eating like, okay, like on a Thursday, you'll eat like a supposedly humanely farmed cow. I mean, what's the fucking difference? If someone just, it's not mass produced, but someone slit its throat. I assume you have a haram, goes by
Halal.
Islam halal. Whoops, butcher. So I mean, how can you say it's bad to crush a squirrel when you're having your halal slaughtered tandoori or whatever?
Because people have been slaughtering animals in order to eat them for most of human history. But correct me if I'm wrong. Ladies of all shapes and sizes have only been recording themselves stepping on poor woodland critters in order to satisfy the needs of
That's a fact of technology.
See, this is the fucking same thing Suave did. Now we're talking about fucking crush videos when we're actually talking about how like fucking Netflix is going to be banned as well. So like everything's getting collapsed into one fucking category.
I would ban Netflix.
Thank you. Let's talk about the actual meaningful goddamn thing.
Their shows suck.
I had a trial account till a few days ago, and during October, I don't have a TV, but I was hoping I could use it to watch. I was hoping I could use it to watch some horror movies. And what do I get? Like, not The Exorcist, not Rosemary's Baby, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 19.
That
what are people
exist.
even paying for?
That's not a movie.
Have you ever seen the original Texas
That's not a
Chainsaw
movie.
Massacre, by the way?
I have once. I don't think it's good, and I don't think it's even a horror movie.
No, it rules.
We literally just did a horror movie episode of Frost Crispin where I said it was the best horror film ever made. But I did see your list of horror movies, and there was a lot of good, like, classic ones. And just this past weekend, I watched the original Wicker Man and the Nicolas Cage remake back to back. Have you seen the remake? It's not as bad as people say it was. Or the out-of-context clips of Nicolas Cage screaming about bees would have you believe. But, it's not great, but it's interesting. Okay, I don't think we're getting anywhere with this discussion of obscenity and Netflix or whatever. So why don't we get into some meatier social issues where I know we're liable to disagree some more. So like the two big hurdles to clear here are issues of gay people in society and abortion. Do you have a preference on which one we talk about first? Okay, let's start with gay issues first. I ask you this because, like, I mean it as, like, a sincere question because, like, like I said, I've lived in sort of a liberal bubble my whole life, despite having family members and friends who voted Republican or described themselves as conservative. They were all mostly of the either business or racist variety, but, like, no one of the really, like, the social conservative persuasion. So, like, honestly, a lot of this just, like, I try to understand it, but I don't. And in that spirit, I just want to ask you, like, broadly speaking, maybe this is a complicated question, but it's the simplest one that I've never heard asked or answered. What is wrong with being gay?
With being gay?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's doing gayness.
Okay, what is wrong with having gay sex if you are a homosexual?
That's very straightforward. So, we get to talk about our dirty bits now. Keep your trousers on, Mr. Cushman. So these.
I'm the one with issues. That's me.
These parts,
it's definitely me.
Okay.
These parts that we have.
Okay, you're going to go into the whole complementary thing and about how genitals are like complementarily ordered to the P go in V to make a baby, right?
As someone with a huge gay fan base, may I interject?
Go ahead.
Anyway, so Matt, this is my understanding of the Bible. My people invented it. You just picked it up. Anyway, so sodomy is prohibited when you read the Bible because, well, to fuck a slave is fine because they're already below you. To fuck a woman is fine. It's a woman in the Bible. To fuck a fellow free man, though, is to bring him down to your level, and that's where the whole sodomy thing came from.
Wait, I want Matt's answer on this, though.
I don't think that you qualify as a biblical scholar.
No, I know way more about it than you. I mean, you just know like Latin stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately for you, the church is the only authoritative interpreter of the Holy Scriptures. For one iota of which I would die, by the way.
Okay.
So, yeah, these parts that we all have, men, women, of various shapes and sizes, are meant to go together in a certain way.
Yeah, penis and vagina intercourse.
But you can also put a dick in an asshole. I mean, it's not like it doesn't fit. Have you ever tried it?
And that would be they go together in a certain way, and that's the way that they're meant by nature to go. I just don't know.
But no, we just said that like an erect dick can easily fit in an asshole.
Yeah,
I mean,
isn't
like,
it?
And so like,
Right. And
what if Franco fucked his wife in the ass?
And a fist can go
the
right
fist.
in the face
God damn it!
of
Who
an
had
infant child.
Who had the fucking fisting?
And a face. No, fuck you.
Who had
fisting?
fisting?
No, just hold on. And a
so
clenched
obsessed
fist
with fisting.
can just as easily go right in the face of a 2-month-old, crying baby. Does that mean that's what it's rightly ordered? Does that mean that's rightly ordered?
Well, punching a baby in the face and having anal sex.
No. Why are they different?
Because one is like quite pleasurable for both parties involved, and the other involves punching a baby in the face.
How do I know? How do I know that Cushman and
I think it might be your problem, not Matt's.
Why are we doing this again?
On punching babies in the face.
You're the one who brought it up.
No, but it's the baby that would be the aggrieved party here. And I think it's pretty. I think any fair person could say that a baby doesn't like getting punched in the face.
So to start over.
Okay.
So these parts are meant to work in a certain way. I mean, do you why ask me to talk about it?
Fist.
Well, talk about it. Go ahead.
These parts are meant to work a certain way. When they work that way, other things constant, as our libertarian economist friends would put it, ceteris paribus, you get babies.
Uh-huh.
And that's what this is all about. Now,
okay, but here, all right, I understand your argument, and I even anticipated it, but like the question is, why does the state what should the state's position on homosexual sex be in your ideal world?
That it's wrong.
This
was on the books in the United States until the 90s. It was on the books in Britain until 1967.
Yeah, my attitude
this is not controversial.
Well, it's controversial to me and like probably most of the people currently drawing a breath.
It was controversial to Uncle Joe too, and absolutely abhorrent to most of the Marxist intellectual tradition. By the way, I think this is why I have a hard time. This is why I have a hard time taking today's internet left so seriously, because I find it absolutely risible that something that is so clearly false consciousness. I mean, homosexuality is Koch and the Koch brothers and Tide, telling us love wins after the Obergefell decision. You confuse, playing around with your private parts with justice. And this is why I can't take the contemporary left seriously.
Is it just to imprison homosexuals for having sex with each other?
Is what just?
Would it be just for the state to imprison homosexuals for engaging in sex?
I don't think that prisons are very just. I think that the prison system has a lot of problems.
Okay, so what would be like
Fines.
What would be a just
Community
sentence?
service.
Community service, fines.
Penance.
But how would that
What
be
is
enforced
penance to you?
in any real way?
Lots of prayer.
But how would that be enforced?
What do you do if they don't fast or pray?
What if they just go back to fucking?
Well,
immediately?
here's the thing. What happens is that they don't receive absolution, and their souls are in danger of hell.
That's
They
fine.
don't receive
That's
absolution.
fine.
from
But
that.
I mean, here in this life, on this planet, in our society, what happens to them?
Like I said, they don't receive absolution from their confessor.
It sounds sorry, Matt. Sorry, this is Brendan jumping on the mic. This sounds very liberal. You're saying we just don't do anything about it. We just pray for them and hope that they come back to the light. But what we're asking you, what the state should do, and you're not a liberal. You're a good theocrat. So tell us what the state should do.
Yeah, this is like the Obamacare penalty, but for anal.
Maybe I'm a theocrat, but I'm not al-Baghdadi.
Oh, that's
Although
good.
actually, I think al-Baghdadi is more in you guys' line when it comes to
What?
What?
penetration.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, what is the question? No, am I wrong, or is ISIS a hotbed of sodomy?
Yeah, it's a hotbed of like rape, torture, execution.
It's awful.
and
Kind
just
of like
fucking
almost all
Dark Ages
hierarchical
nightmare. Yeah.
religious societies.
Yeah,
now
it's
that
kind
I
of
think
weird. Like,
about
there's
it.
another church I've
Pretty
heard
weird.
of that had a lot of problems with that. I don't know. A thing where, guys had sort of absolute positions of authority in the communities, and they used them to do sort of massive amounts of sexual abuse for decades. That was covered up at the highest levels.
It is true that a lot of liberal priests, who in my opinion should have been burned at the stake, engaged in that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So they should have been executed.
Yeah, they
Okay.
disgraced the priestly office
That was their worst offense.
with their crimes. No.
That took a while to think
Okay.
about, but
No, hold on. Do you think I'm trying to figure out what you're even asking me? Rape. Hold on. Rape is a crime that I would be inclined to punish capitally in most cases.
Okay. I mean,
that goes against the church's teachings on capital punishment.
No,
of
it
course.
actually doesn't. See, this is what I love. Like, what have you read about the church's teachings on capital punishment?
I just thought, I don't know. I just thought they were against
Church was
it.
anti-death
A
penalty.
seamless
Not-
garment,
No,
shit.
not
That's
even,
all I know.
Not even remotely.
Okay.
Pope John Paul
I'm
II
learning something.
expressed. I mean, how could you believe this? The Catholic Church itself,
did
When
kill
you-
a lot of
when you-
Jews in Spain. Yeah,
No. The Roman Catholic Church is not the Church's teaching is not against the death penalty. John Paul II expressed his private opinion that, prudentially speaking, because of the way that the death penalty is applied in contemporary societies, including that of the United States, its particular application is often unjust, an opinion that I agree with. But that's not the same thing.
Okay, I feel like we've gotten too far off. We've gotten too far off our original point, which is the issue of, in your ideal society, how the state deals with the problem of gay people existing and choosing to enter into romantic relationships with one another. And if I can understand your reply, and maybe you can correct me, it's not really a matter for the state. It's a matter for their immortal souls, and they would, I don't know, just be like receive some sort of like prayer voucher or something like that, or fine. Or like be forced to go to church or something?
can there be an earned sodomy tax credit?
I guess what I don't understand is, are you guys up on your Foucault? I guess I just don't think that.
I read
You
discipline.
fucko.
I read Discipline and Punishment in college, but the answer is no. I'm not.
No, so I guess I don't understand. I don't think that being gay or homosexuality is a thing per se. I mean, it's actually a creation of late 19th century.
Sure.
You know,
I'm
German
aware
psychology.
of but you know,
So I don't think it's
same-sex sexual encounters are a real thing, right?
Sure.
And have been for quite some time. That's not like an invention of modernity, right?
No, but that's not what I'm being asked about. I'm being asked.
Oh
to-
no,
you
you are
absolutely
being
are
no,
being asked
no,
about
you
that.
trying to do that? Yeah, you're trying to do the thing all these
The
guys are
very
doing.
first question here was about gayness.
Okay, well, this is just pedantry then.
You're
I just want to get down.
give me a
I
fucking
just want to
break,
get down,
guy.
like just very plainly.
Butt sex,
What-
fucking in the ass.
What happens to gay people in your?
No,
ideal
shut up!
society?
Don't say that. He's gonna go down that thing. Fucking in the
All right,
ass.
There are two men who are attracted to each other. They choose to have sex with one another. They are caught by teacher or something like that. What happens to them?
By a teacher?
I'm-
Are they 10 or are they men?
Yeah, they're men. They're adult men who are.
Yeah,
having sex
they're
with one another.
they're at college. They're taking their gender class and learning how to fuck because of Netflix and not reading the writing of one Generalissimo Franco. So already going down
It's
the
just
path
like I
to the
just like
chair.
we're getting into this like just bizarre like just pedantry and parsing of everything. It's just like gay forget gay people, homosexual, whatever you said. People who have same-sex attraction exists in our contemporary society. Whether you think that's an invention of the last 50 years or not, I'm just trying to get down to what happens to these people.
Sorry, lighting a smoke there. I don't know. I mean, what will get you guys and your fan base off if I say
Your
We're
honest
asking
answer.
you a fucking question.
Answer to
Holy
the fucking
shit.
question.
Holy shit.
okay,
Because honestly, it makes no sense to me.
okay? What doesn't make sense?
Just anything you're saying really about that. Like I'm trying to like connect or just have an argument or something or just like
tell us your beliefs.
Read some ecclesiastical history.
No. Holy shit. Every fucking time.
You're on the show. No, you didn't.
no,
I
you
just
didn't.
said you would be denied absolution.
Okay, fuck this.
Oh,
All right,
fucking
next
A.
question. All right.
Holy shit.
Okay, the final. Let's talk about
Yes.
abortion.
Now
This
here
is
we
the
go.
granddad.
Now
This is the
this
granddad.
this case is a case where there would absolutely be
This
state
has got to be
intervention.
easier, right?
People are going to jail.
In your ideal society, abortion would be 100% illegal across the board in any case.
Yep.
Okay, what would happen to the woman who procures an abortion in your ideal society?
I would probably not be inclined to think that the woman should be punished. I
Why?
think that because she's probably been hoodwinked and taken advantage of.
Do you know any woman who's? Do you know a single woman who's had an abortion?
No.
Oh,
Hi.
well, we got a surprise for you, buddy. But you were saying
What she has in fact done is been an accessory.
Hi, I'm Amber. Would I go to jail? Here's what I'm asking.
Would a woman go to jail?
Spit it out.
Who's been an accessory to murder? In this case, infanticide.
Because an accessory to murder is
Yes.
okay. So
Okay,
I would
she
go to
would go to
jail.
jail.
You would send me to jail. Okay, that's really what I wanted to know.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
But and the person
Well, at
who-
least you're a man for like a minute, and we'll like admit it.
and the person who carries out this sacrifice.
Oh, I'm not turning them in.
And the person who performs the sacrifice to Moloch will be executed.
Okay,
Okay, so
I'm
you-
not turning them in though. Here's the thing: I'm not turning them in. What will you do? I will literally be the only person that goes to jail for it. I will not sell out the person who I got that service from.
Okay, Amber. You've had your. This is your moment of defining moral clarity. This is your apotheosis. Congratulations! I don't give a shit. I mean, cry me a river. I don't care. I will pray for you tonight.
Oh well, enjoy.
I mean, I don't understand what point you're trying to make or what you're trying to wring out of me here.
I think that the point is that we're trying to figure out how punitive your society is supposed to be. I mean, that's really what we're laying out here.
Because that's what you want to needle me on rather than discuss the question.
Yeah, we
of
do
whether,
want to needle on
of
who you're
whether or
gonna throw
not,
people in
of whether
jail.
or not
Yeah, that is a
murdering
problem for
babies,
us.
of whether or not murdering babies is okay. That's what you'd rather discuss. I'm
Yeah,
just
because there's nothing to
Yeah, you
discuss
know
on
what?
that. We
Because,
don't think
like,
it's
I'm
murdering
so-
babies, and they're
I can't
yeah, but
be
we don't think that's
forced
true.
to give up an organ to someone who needs a fucking kidney.
A baby is an organ. A baby is an organ.
No, it forms no function. It's not as good as an organ.
It's not as good. See, you've already condemned your own position. That is
I've proven your point by your own logic.
that is as idiotic as it is satanic.
Hail Satan!
Okay.
I mean,
again, this is your
just to
apotheosis.
clarify the point here, none of us believe that a fetus
Right,
is
that's
the
why there's no
moral
point
or
of
legal
arguing it,
equivalent
because this isn't a
of,
point we're going to fucking
No,
have any kind
I
of
don't
discussion
believe
on.
it's a person.
We don't think it's a person, and you
I
can't
don't think
convince
a
us,
fetus
and we're
is
not
even
gonna
as important
convince
as
you.
my good time.
That is satanic and not funny.
Hail Satan!
It's very funny.
This is good.
Yeah, it is excellent.
It
actually.
is. We're all having a great
We're having
time.
a very good time. We're actually laughing.
Well, we've already surpassed. I mean, some of us are nude right now. It's gotten to that
Yeah,
point.
I mean-
we're talking about, these are, like I said, these are the make or break. These are the non-negotiable issues for both of our positions.
Right, and I hope that this is all that you guys post of this segment.
No, we're gonna post
We'll
the whole
put the whole
thing.
thing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I mean, but okay. So, would it be fair to say that
Because you have this stupid, hysterical, not serious person come on? Oh, it's going to be a real moment of confrontation. This is like the production values of reality TV. Like, ooh,
I
snap,
don't
what's
think
going to
I'm
go on there?
hysterical. I think you're a little hysterical.
I think you again. In the spirit of charity, I'm only going to say that I am going to pray for you tonight.
okay.
Oh, that's
In
nice.
fact,
Thank you.
actually, since we actually are, you say you're going to post this whole thing. Why don't I go ahead? This will be a real chapo first. I'll go ahead and say Hail Mary for Amber and for all of you right now.
Do it. Let's do it.
What?
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, there's one. I actually only have one question, and it is, obviously you've worked yourself up into a dudgeon and at our horrible, disgusting, literally satanicness.
Confronted with a hysterical
But I do
woman.
want to just point out and see your reaction to the fact that your initial decision to condemn us as satanic and worthy of being banned didn't come due to our blasphemy, didn't come due to any position we held. It was because we own the hell out of your dipshit compatriot for getting caught in elevators all the time. That all of this boils down to petty personal bullshit and not the righteous battle for people's souls.
Can I just say that you have the most annoying and low T voice out of all the Chapo
I mean, he
contributors?
clearly has an incredibly high T voice. You can get him on annoying, but come on.
Yeah, very annoying.
Matt, I mean, I can hear the DTs in your voice.
I know, right?
You have the most fucking alcoholic voice I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
You're
seriously,
like a
we're gonna.
WC
We're gonna have to
character.
do some editing just to get rid of the
You've
fucking
never
pauses.
talked to my father or my grandfather.
Holy shit, that explains a lot.
That's tragic. I'll be praying for you.
So no response to that.
It's
So,
hard,
all right,
I mean, it's
think
hard to
we're
know
done.
where to go from here, but
No, we're done.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt. Bye.
Peace, bitch.
All right. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Shut up.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh.